Elon Nuts sues Watchtel law firm to recoup fees from Twitter buyout. But he was forced by a court in Delaware to pay $44 billion for the world's dumbest purchase. And basically what Watchtel is, so...
Have fun memeing your way out of
have fun
$44 billion.
being the meme lord of this. So what happened was, when Elon Musk tried to squelch, they went, Twitter, or, the owners at the time, they went to this Watchtel law firm who specializes in these gigantic acquisitions. And basically, they were the ones that forced or got the courts to kind of, they made the argument that he should have to buy it. And he did. So as a means of achieving the results they wanted, they got paid $90 million. So,
which is like 2%.
Yeah. So Twitter got $44 billion because their lawyers made this deal go through. And as compensation, they were given 0.2% of that $44 billion, which is $90 million. Well, Musk is... He's calling a foul. He calls a foul upon this.
I don't plan on paying this.
He says that basically because the original contract by Watchtel and Twitter said there would be some form of compensation, but it didn't outline how much, or, if it's based on a percentage, or, just kind of like there will be compensation. And then basically when they determined that this was going to happen and Elon was going to have to buy it, hours before that closed, they made this $90 million payout. Legitimately, like, here's my debit card, here's your 90 mil. Because apparently Elon's thoughts is those lawyer fees should have been on hold until the new owner took over, so that they could decide to pay the bill or not.
Yeah.
And
they paid it like minutes before.
They paid it minutes before. So Elon Musk is saying they shouldn't have paid it. They should have waited for the new owner to check the legitimacy of it to pay it. And everyone's saying, well, this is just because Elon Nuts is known for squelching on his deals and not paying people. And so he's really pissed off, and he's trying to reclaim that $90 million, saying that nothing that they could have done in hours before the deal that was already done went through could have constituted that much money. Like, basically, the lawyers took Twitter to, rake them over the coals for $90 million. So he thinks that indeed he is going to be able to get some of that money back from them, which is it's just so strange, because he's thinking that it's completely unfounded that they would be paid that much money for a few months of work, because it's unconscionable that they would do it. 0.2% of the earnings that you've made the company, I'm pretty sure is actually less than standard for a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody won a lawsuit for $100 million, I assume that lawyer is going to get like $500,000, and that is a greater percentage than 0.2%.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting. But meanwhile, Tesla directors simultaneously were accused of overpaying themselves a return of $735 million. The directors are Elon Nuts and Kimball Musk. I don't know who Kimball Musk is. The Oracle co-founder, Larry Ellison, and James Murdoch, son of Rupert Murdoch. So these four people paid themselves $735 million. And this part I don't fully understand. I don't understand any of this. Yeah,
shit.
It has to. The police and fire retirement system of the city of Detroit challenged the stock options that were granted to the Tesla directors starting in June 2017, describing them as unfair and excessive.
I'll describe this as how I understand it. Rich people are doing cup and ball things with lots of money so that they can have more money in way that not good. That's how my brain understands.
So Kimball Musk is apparently Elon's brother. The $730 million settlement to be paid to Tesla to benefit the company is them taking back the money that they thought they awarded themselves, and now that
you're like, oh,
Elon Musk has been using his finances to offset his losses, they are clawing back as much money as possible, and
they're trying to interject cash flow back into the corporations. Yeah,
the first generation iPhone sold at auction for $190,000 about 380 times its original price. So it came out at $599 in 2007.
That's not even that old.
Yeah, the 4 gigabyte model was 20 times rarer. That sounds like, I don't like saying that word. Rarer. The 8 gigabyte model released at the same time for $599.
Maybe it's weird to us because we're like, strapped by our Canadian accents to say it in a certain way, as like we need to pronounce all of the A's and all of the R's, and it's hard.
Like pirates. Well, that's depressing. So, basically, the 4 gig model was so sought after because it was discontinued shortly after 2 months because it needed a larger memory size. So the 8 gigabyte model sold for $63,000 in February and one for $39,000 in October. And this place said, we set a new bar. The founder of LCG Auction says, we are thrilled to be part of this fantastic.
This is like rich people laundering their money for fucking sure.
Apparently, popping zits is ultimate satisfaction, and then removing rust, and those could be interchangeable.
Yeah. And DGOS.
DGOS is definitely the third one. Yeah. If you don't know what this is, you missed out.
Forgot about this.
Oh God.
Video.
Oh God. Don't do it. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Frickin' DGOS.
That was a good DGOS.
Honestly, it's like the equivalency of like shaking all of your limbs at once to get all that excess energy out.
Hello, I'm not Johnny Cash. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Oh, come on Barbie, let's go party, 'cause I'm in a Barbie world. If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever, friendship never ends. Up in my hands, up playing my song, the butterflies fly away. Yeah, 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 it's a party in the USA. This is what you guys call music? Well, I'll be damned.
Well, I'll be goddamned.
Arguably, he made all these songs so much better. But I do like them.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Well, if they free me from this AI, if my voice was only mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Barbie world, that's where I want to stay. Oh, come on Barbie, let's go party and take my blues away.
See, this is what AI is good for.
The prime example of why AI voice needs to stop.
Yeah.
Listen to this one. I'm a Barbie girl. So Elvis sings Baby Got Back. This is a channel called There I Ruined It.
Like big plots and I cannot lie. You are the brothers I can't deny. That when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and around in your face, you get sprung. You get sprung. Oh, you get sprung. Deep in the jeans she's wearing, I looked and I can't stop staring. Baby got back. My anaconda don't want none unless you got the buzz high.
I honestly kind of want that to be a clip. My anaconda don't want none.
Anaconda don't want none unless you got the buzz high. I'm begging for a piece of that bubble, so go and find that juicy double, and you get sprung. Oh, you get sprung. I don't want no other but now, baby, it's just yours. I'm thinking of.
I mean, I don't know if he ruined it. I think
No, I
it's
would
great.
say he made arguably both those songs better.
I mean, country music has touched the hearts of millions, you know, and their fans, they love being at the concert so much they just want to take a picture for memorandum. But unfortunately, Miranda Lambert freaked the fuck out on a couple of people that were at her concert trying to take a picture. Now, initially, on its head, it seems like, you know, who would... She stopped singing. She stopped in the middle of the show to call out a group of fans that were taking photos. So she stopped right in the middle of apparently a song called Tin Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she said, these girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song, and it's pissing me off. So this article is... They had contacted some of the people that she yelled at. So this is the TikTok.
Something bound to fall apart. I'm gonna stop right here for a sec, Danny. I'm sorry. These girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit.
Let's go. Come on. You don't do that to fans.
Something bound to fall apart.
Let's go.
So the interesting part is I'm not sure how I feel or who's in the wrong.
I have nuanced feelings on this.
So that is weird. And when I watched this, I thought to myself, ugh, you know, that's kind of, it seems like Miranda Lambert has like a chip on her shoulder. But then I kind of scrolled down, and the interesting thing, yes, so what we said is they paid to see her.
Yeah.
So it's, this is part of it. But the interesting thing is it's like a sit down concert.
They were like kind of being, it seems they were being a little bit showboaty in their posing for the pictures. But I do completely agree. They paid like $750 for their tickets to be there. I was saying to Evan, like a lot of the shows I've been to, pretty much all the shows I've been to have been in bars. So there is nothing, like if you were to see a group of girls posing like this to take a photo in a bar while a band is playing, you wouldn't think anything of it. You'd just be like, yep, there was some girls out enjoying some music, taking a picture to enjoy it. I can see how maybe it was disruptive to some of the people around it, seeing how like posy it is and everybody, but like at the same time, if you paid $750 fucking dollars to be there, I would
never pay that much to listen to anyone play country.
No, God no.
I'm sorry if that is offensive to anybody.
Sorry if you like this shit. It's
not creative enough.
No.
Or good enough for that much money. Only if Willie Nelson came and it was cheaper than that would I go.
Yeah.
Or they resurrected some people from the dead. But basically, what the people said, everyone was having a great time. We stood up at times and danced. It was great energy. But after it happened, it was kind of like that parents yelling at each other at the dinner table, awkwardness, right?
But yeah, I agree with you. It looks like they're doing a photo shoot and that's rude to the other attendees. So that's why I say it's tough, like nuanced. Right? Like you kind of, I see it from both sides. It's hard.
Yeah, and so originally I wanted to say Miranda Lambert
Get
is just
fucked.
being a bitch
Yeah.
because she's entitled. But when I seen these pictures, I started thinking to myself, well, that is kind of like odd if it is a slow song, and as the person singing it would be distracting, but you know, that's supposed to be her jam.
Yeah.
She's an artist, right? But there were things that I thought were interesting where they had indicated they tried to take them before the show, but the lighting wasn't good enough. So they asked another audience member to take the pictures during the show. So these pictures were taken by somebody else who paid $750 to watch Miranda Lambert. You know?
Jason, as far as I'm aware, she didn't offer anything other than it's kind of pissing me off.
Yeah, I think she just went back into it after
Yeah.
that and tried to kind of pick up like it wasn't awkward.
It says the after it happened, it was just not the same.
Yeah, after she said that, I guess the energy really,
Yeah.
you know, as you would assume, everyone in the audience was probably like, I'm not sure how to act anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like if she had said they're being rude to other people, then it'd be more justified. Yeah,
Because
it's tough.
I also understand wanting to take a picture to commemorate something that you're going and doing, right?
Yeah.
So I can understand wanting to pose for that picture. You have a picture of, like, you know, the person you're there, you paid $750 to see, you're posing with your girlfriends that you went to see the show with. And I also think, like, if this were happening probably at Coachella, no one would take any mind. But maybe because it's an enclosed environment, I don't know. Like, there is always a time and place for stuff. I don't think anybody's I don't think anybody's right, and I don't think anybody's wrong in this situation, weirdly enough.
Yeah, it's the more I looked at it, I was thinking, like, I've been to most of the concerts I've been to, all the concerts I've been to are not slow oriented music. Like AC/DC, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, maybe Tom Petty's got some slower songs, all that. So I don't really know what it's like to be at a concert where there's like quiet, but I've been to comedy shows where it would, if you were at a comedy show and you stood up in front of other tables to take a picture like that,
It'd
you
be
would
weird.
probably get made fun of by
yeah.
the comedian.
Or if you were to, like, go watch a live play, you wouldn't do that, right? It's just, yeah, it does make it kind of confusing, because, like, there's also, like, certain rules about taking pictures during live performances,
A lot of
right?
places don't allow it.
Yeah.
If you take your phone out, sometimes, you know, security on the stairs will be like, you know, put your phone away or whatever, like, as they don't want you to record. But I don't think I'd expect one in a Miranda Lambert concert. A violin concerto. Philip went to a Vanessa Mae concert in Manchester.
I don't know if I know who Vanessa Mae is.
Everyone there was expecting a classical concert, but she played lots of techno stuff and asked everyone to dance. It was mostly confused older people. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's interesting. I think probably both parties involved need to look at themselves and if their actions took other people's experience into account, right? Like Miranda Lambert, there were probably quite a few people that left going like, "Ooh, that was weird." But there was probably a lot of people that left going, "Those fucking people were being assholes."
Well, and also I think the part of the problem here is when you charge so much money for a ticket, like $750,
Yeah, that's a lot.
people feel entitled to a little piece of ownership over you, right? So
Of
if
your time,
so if I'm paying that much money, and so I have like 5 friends here, we've each paid $750 to see you, so that's close to what, like $4,500, I think, something like that. I at that point feel a little entitled to take a picture of myself with my friends in front of you.
Yeah.
That's a huge investment of our group of like as a group of people, our money into seeing you.
That's
and
the
so,
kettle,
like I
by
said,
the way.
it creates a level of ownership people feel over the performer when you charge that much money for something.
Oh yeah, and Jason said something earlier. He said it's kind of her job to keep their attention.
It's true.
And I'm thinking, so I went to the Black Keys and Cage the Elephant, and I was front row, like arms on the stage. I was deaf for like 2 weeks after, but I can't imagine a single moment in the opening, Cage the Elephant, or the show where I wanted to pull out my phone to take a picture because we were just fucking going full. We were so into it, right? So it's kind of interesting that, like Jason said, I assume Tin Man is a slower song by that little snippet. Once she started playing a slower song, it was like, okay, let's take the picture now.
Yeah.
But
I understand what you're saying. If everyone paid that much and wanted a picture, they'd ruin the concert. I understand that, but you do also see where you go to a lot of concerts nowadays, people are just standing there holding up their cell phone, taking a video of it. So they're still technically taking a picture. They're just not posing in the picture. So they're just doing it technically in a less distracting way, but in a way that they can also then replicate, like share that copyrighted content online or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of other things, like I'd imagine at plays and opera and musicals, you're probably not allowed to pull your phone out. You probably have to have them off.
Or
right?
even I know a lot of comedians also have, like, you have to sign like a written thing where you won't take picture or video of it because they don't want their jokes getting out.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, they should, if she doesn't want people taking pictures or like video or anything, she needs to make some performances have lasers that ruin cameras. We've seen that.
Yeah.
You need to stipulate to your audience somehow, like no photography of any kind during the performance. That's up to them to stipulate, and then if that's stipulated, then by all fucking means, stop the performance midway through your song to call out those ladies. But if you haven't stipulated anywhere no use of filming devices of any kind, you can't call them out for it. Which kind of ties us into our next topic that we want to talk about.
Yeah, like for instance, how it's hard. You think the things that you perceive are how other people perceive them as well.
Yes.
And it's important to look at yourself and say, oh shit, that's not what I intended. But
look at life beyond yourself.
But hey, maybe the song I wrote that's pro-guns and potentially racist is not a good idea. So Jason Aldean, if you remember, Las Vegas had a gigantic shooting massacre. Remember a couple years ago, 2017, there was a mass shooting in Las Vegas, and he was on stage during that. So the song is a pro-gun song called Try That in a Small Town. And again, this is our opinion. This is the article.
To which, when I hear that song title, I immediately thought to myself, is he like a sundowner? Which
so from him, he says there isn't a single lyric in the song that refers to race or points to it. When people accuse them of writing a pro-lynching song. So country star Jason Aldean is in controversy after releasing a song in which he declares that small towns won't stand for the lawlessness many cities across the U.S. have faced in recent years. Aldean's latest track, Try That in a Small Town, takes a direct shot at those who participated in riots that have plagued the U.S. cities and those who have shown disrespect for law enforcement and the American flag.
You know, I would like to see people try this in a small town.
Yeah, so there's... you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road, Aldean sings. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't.
Yeah. Small town.
These are lyrics.
Yeah, those are lyrics. So, like I said, and when it's like, is this like a sundowner song? Like,
Yeah.
is he?
So as he's singing those lyrics, fiery imagery of protests from the 2020 Black Lives Matter marches are playing in the background as he sings, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Try that in a small town. So he sings passionately also about the right to bear arms when he was in arguably one of the largest mass shootings in the States. He says, got a gun my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. While that shit might fly in the city, good luck. So, well, not necessarily that he's saying he's racist, but he's, like you said, sundown towns. He's not acknowledging a large portion of his audience lives in places that still hold values like that.
Yeah.
How this can be interpreted and used in the context it wasn't made. So this person, I don't know who Shannon Watts is, Jason Aldeans, who was on stage during the mass shooting at Las Vegas in 2017 that killed 60 people and wounded 400, has recorded a song, Try That in a Small Town, about he and his friends will shoot you if you try to take their guns. So, yeah, full of good old boys raised upright. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town.
The good old boys.
So, he's basically... he's basically pandering to the, blue blood in my veins, stomp through the mud people. They'll put it out and say, how could you possibly think that this was potentially nationalism being written in country's music form? What are you talking about?
How dare you say that I'm a fascist when I'm literally just quoting Mein Kampf?